Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Bhante.
Okay, so you could hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay, so we are ready to take some questions, and there were some who had posed questions or had their hands raised in the morning session. So this would be Kathy W. first and Wan Ling. So Kathy, then you would unmute.
Hi, good afternoon, Bhante. Thank you so much for the teaching. As I said, I'm the beginner, so I do have some quick questions. The first is because we're trying to focus on the mind, right? Is the mind and the thought the same thing?
I'd say not exactly the same thing. I say thoughts occur in the mind, or the mind is the instrument of thought.
All right, thank you. And also, I kind of experienced extremely pain on the left arm, the upper arm. I just wonder, is this normal for the beginner to start the meditation?
To experience the pain in the arm?
Yeah, because if it's in the leg, it's fine. It's normal, but in the arm.
Yeah, I haven't heard of people experiencing the pain in the arm. Almost always it's the legs.
Okay. So
But maybe just move the arm, do some exercises to move the arm. Perhaps that will help to dispel the pain.
okay, so this kind of meditation, it won't cause some unexplained pain or something in somewhere, right?
No, I haven't heard of that.
All right, that's good to know. And well, when you get a chance, would you mind to share the mind fire?
Yeah, I actually tried to do that, but I saw that with the chat, it seems that it's not possible to put a Word file in the chat box.
Oh, then you can save it as PDF, maybe.
Well, I don't see a way to put a PDF there either.
Bhante,
right.
if you
I'll try to find some way. I would have to go to Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. I'll find some way to do it.
Sure, thank you very much.
Heidi, were you going to say something?
yeah, Bhante, next to the smiley face, if you open the chat box, on the bottom, next to the smiley face,
Yeah.
there is a square kind of document. I think you can upload your document over there so people can download it.
Yeah, I see that. But then when I click that, then I get the choices Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive.
And Google Drive. And then you have to go into, then you have to go to your document, select the document, upload it here.
I'd have to go to Google Drive.
Bhante, why don't you send it to me and I will send it to everyone? How about that?
Okay, by email. I'll send it later.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Now I've lost the participant list. Okay. Now next is Wan Ling. And again, you have to unmute. Okay.
Okay, I'm good. Thank you, Bendy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I could hear.
Thank you, Bendy, for for the wonderful teaching. It's been 4 very happy and peaceful days for me. I do have a technical question regarding what we learned today. The watching the mind stream without the support of using or citing mind, the word.
Yeah.
It works a lot better for me than yesterday because I do have some difficulty, reciting the word mind.
Yeah.
Because my question is simple, but I get to relate back to my breathing because I've been doing mindful of breathing. I've been training this for years. So I'm very familiar. I'm used to my mind just go to my breath naturally. And after, this today is the 4th day, it's been prepared. My mind has been prepared well for today, meaning my mind's been very, very peaceful. So like today, and I can easily just, my mind, just watch the stream of my mind. But my mind is very peaceful. So you're peaceful in the calm, peaceful, meaning I don't have those like the bubbles of thoughts. And I'll say I don't have many thoughts. I do have not even scattered minds, but I do have a few like a drifting mind, as you can put on the on the list, the drifting mind. So here comes my question. Because my mind is very, very peaceful, I only have a few drifting, thoughts coming up here and there. So because I was trying to follow your instruction. So at this point, so I try to see the impermanent nature of the minds or the non-self. I found I have to make an effort to recite the word like a impermanent. Otherwise, my mind will naturally drift to my breath because that's I've been training for years. So my question is, shall I make an effort to watch or to detect the impermanent nature, or shall I kind of allow my mind naturally go to my breath to develop some more like a concentration?
Yeah, I would say that if one's intention is to follow the instructions given here, then one would prevent the mind from going to the breath and try to keep the mind focused on the mind stream. Even if there are not so many thoughts, what I do sort of when the stream of thoughts quiets down is to keep on watching, using that simile of the cat watching the mouse hole. So it seems like there's a little opening in the mind from which thoughts slip out. And so just keep on watching that opening in the mind. And even when thoughts are not coming out, not many thoughts, but still you can see the mental process itself, even relatively free from thoughts, just occurring in sequence. So you can get a perception of impermanence even without a stream of thoughts succeeding each other. But just watch the mental process itself, and one sees the impermanence in the act of awareness itself as being impermanent.
Thank you, Bendy. That's very helpful because I do find there the simile of a cat watching the mouse hole is very helpful because I'm kind of like waiting for a thought to pop up. Then I try to have this mental notation to tell myself this is impermanent, it's passing. So I can see it's passing, I'm waiting. So, but I need to make an effort to do that, to provide my mind going to the breath. I got it. So thank you so much, Bendy. Thank you.
Okay. So let's see, next we have Pamucha. And lower the hand. Unmute. I'm sorry, unmute. Still muted.
Bante,
Yeah.
Pamuja email and say that she has problem unmuting and you need to unmute her. Is there a way that you can unmute her?
I could only send the message asking to unmute.
And okay.
Okay, what she has to do, you look on the Zoom panel. On the bottom row, there are a number of icons. At the far left, there's one which says, is shaped like a microphone. It says mute. And probably if you, it has a red bar through it. And you click that, and the red bar will disappear, and then you'll be unmuted. Okay, we'll just keep on trying. I'll go on now, jump to Chin Chin. Okay, Chin
Oh,
Chin is
thank you.
unmuted.
Yes, thank you, Bante. I've just only started today, and I was following your instruction about focusing on the mind and try to drop off the mind word.
Yeah.
But I struggle to. What I meant is it ultimately goes to my breathing, and every time I say mind, it's like I'm taking one breath with the mind. So how do I not allow the focus to be on the breath? You get what I mean? Every time I breathe in, like I've said the word
Well, I
mind.
think we should go back to do Anapanasati. Everybody's mind is going to the breath.
I know, instead of drifting away, it goes to the breath.
Just have to keep on working to focus the mind again and again on the mind stream and just not let it drift to the breath.
So do you mean like when you keep saying mind, mind, you just recite inside, is it? Or you actually look at the, like imagining you're reading a word in front of you, mind, M-I-N-D.
Yeah, the way I do, it's certainly, it's not just reciting the word mind, 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 because that's something like automatic or mechanical. But the use of the word mind, it's just I call it a device, a skillful device to get you to look at the mind. So the main focus should be looking at the mind, not reciting the word. But the way I do it is, yeah, as though, almost as though reading the word mind, swelling
Inside,
up from the mind. Yeah,
internally.
yeah, yeah. But now we've reached a point in the retreat where we are dropping the word mind. We just used it at the beginning to start turning the mind upon the mind. And so it's a little bit like using a ladder to get out from, say, one is in the upper story of one's house and there's a fire down below, but there's a ladder by the window. And so you use the ladder to climb down from the upper story of your house. But then when you get down to the ground, then you can discard the ladder. And so
So
we
when
use,
you, yeah, sorry.
yeah, so
So
what we
when
use,
you,
no, I'm saying, so we use the word mind as a focus device in order to get the mind to focus upon the mind. And once we're accustomed to that, when we get some skill in that, then we put the word mind aside and just focus non-verbally on the mind stream. Does
like,
that make?
all right, as blank in, is that the thing you?
Okay, then we come to Mark.
Thank you, Bhante. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
A simple question, I think, I hope it's simple practice.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I'm tired after several days of sitting and I'm naturally more concentrated. But repeating mind was more difficult. And I'm still following your instruction than it was today to drop that entirely. And just enter into a concentrated, practice.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's normal or if maybe I need to be tuckered out to get to this point, but I'm just wondering if that's a common occurrence or if you have any comment on that.
What is the current a common occurrence?
Basically, the repetition of the word mind as a barrier or something which it may be more difficult for some people to enter into the next phase, which is easier for me than having the word mind on my mind.
I see. Okay.
Thank you.
In a way, my answer to the previous question also answers your question, that we use, I say probably for most people or many people, including myself, it would be difficult just to start focusing on this, what I call the mental stream or the mental process, without having something to sort of attract it and fix it on the mental process. And so we start off using the word mind as a way of getting us to turn the attention away from the breath or the bodily sensations to get it to focus on the mind. And then we keep on observing that word mind, mind, mind as it's being sort of mentally formulated. And that way the mind gets accustomed to focusing upon something going on in the mind. And then once we get accustomed to being able to focus on something in the mind, then we can drop that crutch that we've been using, the word mind, and just sort of flow with the mental stream itself, sort of dive into the mental stream and flow along with it. Okay, I think that maybe answers. Okay, Amy Wright. Okay. Oh, you're not yet unmuted.
Hi, Bhante.
Okay, now you're unmuted.
Thank you for taking my question. So I just wanted to, again, kind of check to see if I'm inferring something that's not, I guess, there. When you're focusing on the mind, would it be kind of like when you're it's almost like layers as you go kind of deeper into this mind focus?
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like you're kind of going in deeper and deeper layers as
exactly.
you
Yeah.
focus. Okay, that I just wanted to kind of make sure I wasn't inferring something else, or kind of on the wrong track kind of thing.
Yeah, that is the case. That's why yesterday was it yesterday or two? Yeah, it was yesterday. I used the simile of using the word mind to look into the mind. It's like you're using a shovel to dig through the earth in order to get to the the treasure buried within the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're using the word mind as you are focusing on the word mind. You're sort of shoveling away all the little thought formations and emotional formations and mental fabrications, which are sort of going on constantly without our awareness most of the time. So we're just removing them and then going deeper and deeper. And then sometimes, as one is doing this, it'll come almost like explosion of a lot of mental activity. And it seems that you've sort of hit a layer where there's a layer of sort of repressed mental activity, which is suddenly coming up to the surface. But then one just continues to dig past that, and then the mind becomes calm and quiet again. And sometimes one hits layers where of a kind of dullness and rigidity. That's like when you're digging, it's like you're hitting a layer of hard soil or even stone that has to be removed. And then one just keeps on proceeding further and further until one gets into a state of good concentration.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so Punika on lower. unmute.
Hello, Bhante.
Hello.
Is the microphone okay?
I'm hearing okay, yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you for teaching the meditation retreat. I wanted to ask you, right before lunch, you mentioned the sector of the mind that is doing the observing of the mind.
Yeah.
And I guess that's when one reaches quietude and the mind is still,
Yeah.
and there's silence. Is that sector of the mind that is doing the observing, is that intention? The intent of observing the mind, and then
I say intention is there, but it's not intention that's doing the observing. That is a function of the citta itself, of the mind itself. But one has the intention to observe, so there is the intention there. But
right.
the intention doesn't do the observation, but it's the mind or citta that does the observation.
So how do we find that sector of the mind that is doing the observing so that we can know? Doesn't it fall back to conditionality, where the observing of the mind is born of intention, and then there's impermanence, there's conditionality and impermanence, and then you just kind of let go the observing mind. No? Or maybe I'm on the wrong track.
It sounds too many theoretical concepts.
Oh.
It sounds like you're intellectualizing it too much.
Oh, okay. No, I was thinking about it when I went for my walk.
Yeah.
And so I think what I wanted to do after I reached this quietude, this silence of the mind, what I did yesterday and today was I went back to breathing, the mindfulness of breathing, full breathing, beginning, middle, and end. And then I went into mindfulness of awareness of the whole body.
Mm-hmm.
Then I wanted to try to tranquilize the body. Would that be okay? Would that be would that be something to do after I reach the quietude?
You could do that, but it's not really following the procedure that I've laid down here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't include the tranquilizing the body because that usually becomes, it depends on the individual, but that becomes more feasible after one has been doing the mindfulness of breathing, say, for several days on end. Then the breathing and the other bodily formations tend to become more tranquil.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you do experiment with it, then there's no harm to experiment doing it.
Okay. Okay. So what would you suggest after observing the mind and there's nothing going on? So just keep waiting for some thoughts to come up, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Either you can abide in that quiescent state
Oh,
for
I
some
see.
time,
Okay.
but always keep on sort of reflecting back and then see even that what I call the observing portion of the mind is in process of becoming. It's not a stable, steady, permanent self that's doing the observation,
Right.
but it is itself a sequence of acts of observation.
Right.
And so when you turn back to look at that observing portion, you see that it too is something that's arising and passing, arising and passing. So it too is impermanent.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Oh, very good, Bhante. Thank you so much.
Okay, and then Pamuja, did you find out how to unmute?
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Okay, now you're unmuted.
Sadhu, 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 Bhante, for letting us share your wisdom in this retreat. I would like to ask about this one. Yesterday, I had a very peaceful meditation on mind. But today is a different story. Today I meditated and there was a face came up in front of me, a bearded man. I've never seen him before. And then it flashes by, then followed by so many. So each one flashes by, or one dot all the time. One DOG, DOG, DOG. I see a whole dot flash by. And it was all single. And then after that, it comes to two elderly ladies, very old ladies, flash by. And then followed by 4 kids, flash by one. The 4 kids were in...
For what?
4 children.
4 children, okay.
4 young kids. They were like very long time ago, that kind of tinted kind of look, like very old type of era time. So I was wondering why I'm supposed to meditate and I don't have some feelings or something. Why faces all come by?
Yeah, this is just the way the mind works when one starts to go into unusual states of concentration. The mind starts to throw up these, what I call these fabrications or mental constructions. Sometimes they come in the form of images, mental pictures, streams of thought. What one just does is apply the same label that this is just a fabrication of the mind. It's something impermanent, and let it go, let it go, let it go. Don't latch on to them, but just let them come and go.
Yes,
Recognizing
that's
that this is just sort of
right.
the creative, constructive activity of the mind.
Oh, okay.
Fabrications that come, let them go, and
Thank you so
apply
much.
that the designation. This is not my business. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's 2:18. So we could do now, well, I see there's no more questions, so we could do another session of the sitting using proceeding in the same way as we did this morning. You start off to focus the mind. We start off with a few minutes of anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. Then you can move to turning to the mind and focusing on the mind itself. If you found the use of the word mind helpful for that, use that method. If you found it not so useful, but you can readily just focus on the mind stream itself, then go directly to the mind stream. But I say probably for most people, it's useful to spend a few minutes focusing on the word mind. Again, not reciting it mechanically or automatically, but looking into the mind through the word mind. So do that for a few minutes till the mind settles onto the mind itself. Then you drop the word mind and go to the direct observation of the mind stream. Okay, so we'll be doing this for now a session of 40 minutes. So let us start. Okay, you can relax now. Okay, we have now a period of walking meditation. And please and please remember that the walking meditation is very important part of the process. Don't think that, okay, now the sitting meditation is over. Now he says walking meditation. That means I can just relax and maybe check my email and see what's going on the internet. And, no, but you should really take the walking meditation quite seriously, and it's important, particularly to maintain the continuity of the practice from sitting to walking to sitting. And we're going to be doing the walking meditation. You could start off with the 2-phase process, the 2 Ps. This is bringing a foot forward or pushing, and then putting the foot down, placing. So we have pushing, placing, pushing, placing. Then you add the 3rd phase, which is picking up. So we have picking, pushing, placing, picking, pushing, placing. And then when you get warmed up with 3 Ps, then you add the 4th P, which is pressing. When you shift the weight of the foot, there comes the pressure of the foot on the floor. So then we have picking, pushing, placing, pressing. Picking, pushing, placing, pressing. And you walk mindfully back and forth. 3:02 now, so we'll walk till 3:30, and then I'll hit the gong at 3:29, and then we'll have another period of sitting meditation. Of course, during the walking meditation, if you have to go to the restroom, then you go to the restroom. Don't think because I say it's important that you have to hold it in until you burst. But otherwise, use the time for walking. Okay, we'll be doing now another 40 minutes sitting, and I think all of you know the instructions, so no need for further guidance. Now you can just practice as you've already been practicing. You can relax now and end the session in the usual way. Okay, we'll have a break now, and then you can return to your seats at 4:30. 4:30. That's of course on Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. on Eastern Time, and you convert according to your own time zone. Okay, we're ready.
Yes, Bante.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that we would like to end everything at 5 o'clock today, 5 p.m. So I thought rather than give a talk, and I have to admit I'm a bit, a bit tired, we would take some questions. Maybe we use about 10 minutes or so for questions, and then we could wrap things up with a guided meditation on loving kindness as a way of distributing our punya, our merits. And I think everybody knows the way to raise the question hand. It's through the reactions icon on the bottom row of the Zoom window. Okay, so I see some hands up already. First is George. George O.
Pranama. Bhante, in this last couple sits, I went looking for myself and came up pretty empty-handed, frankly.
Congratulations. Wow, that's a good
Yeah,
achievement.
yeah, that was kind of pleasant. What I was noticing.
Wait, now we're not getting the voice through the speakers. So the people sitting. Oh, our Zoom has some problem. Okay, so he said that. Say it again.
Oh, I went looking for myself during the last couple of meditations and came up pretty empty-handed.
Okay, so he said he went looking for his self during the last couple of meditations and came up empty-handed. And I said, congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, frankly, what I was feeling is I have a much greater propensity to find Georgeness, to find myself in a concept of mind, as opposed to, say, consciousness, which is just sort of a backdrop, receptive.
Yeah.
Mind is more proactive. So I just wanted to make sure that what I was seeing was correct. Because of that propensity, when commentary would come up, okay, a comment comes up, not just thoughting, but a comment, and sometimes kind of pithy dharmic comment.
A what?
Insightful, something
Yeah.
that's like a dharmic kind of a comment,
Yeah.
okay, comes up. That, just like consciousness, is just the arising and passing, and also impermanent. So that commentator is equally impermanent.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. If one goes searching for the self, one never really finds anything on which one could point one's finger and say that is the self. The self, according to Buddhist teaching, is just a mental construct which is superimposed upon the ever-changing sequence of conditioned experiences, the phenomena, the physical and mental phenomena, which are always arising based on causes and conditions, but functioning in unison. And because they function in unison, this gives rise to the idea of the I or self, who is the seer behind the experience or the actor behind the actions. But for Buddhism, that is sort of the root fundamental delusion, and it has to be eliminated by seeing into the empty, impermanent non-self nature of all phenomena.
Putting your finger on it was exactly the experience that I had. That was the laughter of the gods. I was having a tingling in my right forefinger, and so I went to look in my mind's eye at my left hand, at my left forefinger, and there was nothing there. There was just total space. It was like I was looking at the cosmos, and I looked back, and there's still that tingling in my right finger, but absolutely nothing on the left where I was looking for a continuum of myself. That was wonderful. And Bhante, I wanted to thank you for bringing Satipatthana into the home. I think the Buddha would have a big smile at you doing this, because I've done a number of Satipatthana retreats, but doing it in my home where I'm doing it between washing the dishes and walking in my hallway and going to bed, bring Satipatthana right where the Buddha told us to bring it, you know? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay. Thank
Jai
you.
Bhante, Jai Tathagata.
Okay. And now, next one is Hasim. Okay.
Hello, Bhante. I'll just ask two simple technical questions. Is it important that we replace the left hand over right hand during the meditation?
To put the left hand over the right hand.
Yeah.
No, I say put the right hand over the the way
Sorry, yeah.
I'm used is putting the right hand over the left hand. And that's the way I see it in Buddha images, at least in the Southern tradition. But I've heard, I've been to some like programs with different meditation teachers, and the Zen teachers from the Japanese Zen tradition always say, put the left hand over the right hand.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know,
is
maybe
it
you had
important?
instruction from a Zen teacher, in the Japanese.
Yes,
So
I
they
did
have,
in the past.
yeah, they have the left over the right, but
So
I'm
is it
so used.
important to put the left or the right at the top?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it
Yeah.
matters.
And during the sitting in the Burmese position.
Wait, your voice is not coming through clearly.
I'm sorry. And during the sitting in the Burmese position, is it important if the right leg is in the front or the left is in the front? Do you get what I mean?
In the walking.
No, during the sitting position, in Burmese position. Is it important if the right leg is in front or the left leg is in the front?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for everything.
Whatever is more comfortable.
Thank you very much for the teaching.
Okay. Okay, next is Ian. Let me.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Bhante. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. I want to thank you very much for this. On the first day, I was disappointed when you said we were not going to be meditating on the unattractiveness of the body, the 32 parts, the charnel ground meditations, because during the last 4-day meditation, I got huge benefit from that. I can struggle with sexual lust. That's kind of a demon for me.
Yeah.
That keeps coming back, and that was really beneficial for me.
That was the one last month. The one last month.
Yes, correct.
That was specifically a 4-day retreat on the contemplation of the body section of the Satipatthana Sutta. So we just took the exercises and contemplation of the body. I think started from mindfulness of breathing, the 32 parts, 4 elements meditation, and a little bit of the decomposition of the corpse.
Right. Yeah. And I didn't even get to finish that or complete it because New York State refused to reschedule my second COVID vaccination. So yeah, I told them it was for religious reasons, even though I personally don't consider Buddhism to be a religion. It's not for me, but they didn't take it anyway. So I wasn't anticipating this being as beneficial. The mind constructs all this silly stuff. It was hugely beneficial for me. Okay, and I'm just really grateful, Bhante.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and I also wanted to mention, when I get to the ends of the walking path, I say pivoting now.
Yeah, you could use that for a P.
Just another way to work in another P.
Yeah. And for stopping, you could say pause, pivot.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I was thinking posting, which was kind of a stretch, but yeah, that's good. Pause. Thank you very much, Bhante. This has been wonderful.
Okay, good. Yeah, last year after the contemplation of the body retreat, somebody wrote to me, I guess who had been on that retreat, and said, do you plan in the future to do a retreat on contemplation of feeling, contemplation of mind. And at that time, I didn't have that in mind. So I wrote back and said, I don't think so. But then I was thinking, as we were coming to this period, let's make it a retreat going from the contemplation of the body to contemplation of mind. And so that's what we did. Okay, so we have to keep the questions fairly short because we want to end at 5 o'clock and do a little of the loving kindness meditation. So Hema, you are next.
Oh.
Unmute. Okay.
It keeps popping back.
Okay, you're on. You're open now.
She unmutes for just a second, but she's got the muted icon in front of her now.
Okay, keep on trying, Hema. Well, I'll go to Bill Chu.
Okay, I'm
There you
done.
go.
Okay, she's
Bhante,
open
it's
now.
okay?
Okay,
Thank
now
you
you're
very
open.
much, Bhante, for your guidance in this retreat. Very good. And Bhante, I like to check the final thing is in my practice next time, the 4P, the 4P walking meditation. Gradually, can I let go? Gradually, when I'm conscious of the step, can I let go the 4Ps?
Yeah, there are various ways to do the walking meditation. And usually when I'm doing it on my own, I don't do the very, very slow walking. I walk at a fairly, I say, a slow, normal pace. And all I do is just, sometimes I'm just aware, focusing on right step, left step, right step, left step. Or sometimes just the two phases of pushing, placing, pushing,
Years
placing.
ago.
But on an
I got it.
extended retreat to
Been on
help
retreat
people
or
build
something.
up stronger
My son
mindfulness and
is a retreat
concentration,
on
and it's
mindfulness and
good to
breathing that
break
he
the
did.
step up
All of the videos are recorded.
into more phases.
Okay, I got
But
it.
in
So
day-to-day practice, you could do it simply. In fact, what I do is primarily just focus on the pressing of each foot, the contact of each foot on the floor when I'm walking. So I'm aware of right contact, left contact, right contact, left contact, like that. Yeah, whatever, you just experiment and find whatever method works best for you. There's no rule you have to do it this way, otherwise you're a lost cause.
okay, sir. Thank you very much, Bhante. May you have good blessings from the Triple Gem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Bill Chu.
Thank you, Bhante, for taking my question. I have two quick questions. One is with regard to the looking at the observing the mind stream.
Yeah.
So what about object like sound, smell, and even the sense of breathing and the body? Are these part of the mind stream? So should they be considered part of the mind stream?
Whatever arises. So say there's a sound, then the way you know that there's a sound is because you're hearing. So there is the event of hearing. So you could include that within what you're noting in the mind stream. Hearing. If there's some, I don't know, fragrance of incense or smell of somebody cooking comes through, then when you notice it, then it's smelling.
Thank you.
And if the mind goes to the breath, you could just notice briefly that contact with the breath. But to do the contemplation of mind, then you don't stay with the breath, but you just let it go and come back to observe the mind. So with each of those other kinds of noticing, you just notice it and come to the mind. Even with pains in the body as well, if, say, a momentary pain arises, you note pain, and then you try to let the pain go. And if the pain becomes persistent, like especially when you're doing a longer retreat and doing a lot of sitting, then pain could build up in the legs, particularly towards the end of the sitting. Initially, you just try to ignore the pain or just make brief notes of it. But if the pain becomes very persistent, then you drop any other object and just turn to the pain and observe the pain very closely and watch. You see the pain also undergoes the same process of arising and passing, arising and passing. It's also really what we call a single pain is a sequence of momentary events of pain.
Another quick question is, yesterday when we're doing the mind, it didn't quite work with me, the word mind, but towards this end of the last session, so I switched to say, what's on your mind? And that seemed to really click for me. Is that is that a good way to think about it?
It's not the way that I would suggest because we want to strengthen the concentration. And so we're just using the word mind as a way of strengthening the concentration on the mind stream so that we build up some force of concentration so that when we drop the word mind, then we're able to remain with the flow of mental events. Whereas if you raise the question, what's on your mind, then you start looking into the mind.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe if it works, if you find it helpful, then just continue with it. Okay, we'll take now Joyce, and this will have to be the last question. Whoops.
Thank you, Bhante. And thank you for everything. With the concentration of the mind and noticing the mind stream, I've had success, and I notice that there is a sense of the cat swallowing the canary each time I'm noticing
the mouse.
The mouse. Okay, the cat swallowing the mouse. But there is I'm watching with a smile. I'm aware that there's a little smile on my face, and I'm noting pride or proud, but it seems to be helping with the focus. I'm noting that I'm doing it, but is it something I should be letting go of and being more neutral in my response to noticing the thoughts that are arising? Because I'm doing it with a sense of, oh, there's one, there's a thought, So I just don't know if I'm bringing and adding in something that shouldn't be there, or if it's okay as long as I'm aware I'm doing it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling joy or happiness because you're able to notice each thought, each mental event that arises, is that the point?
Yep.
Yeah. It's good that you have that joy. That's a sign that the practice, that you're settling into the practice and that it's bringing success. But you experience the joy, but don't attach to it. But when the joy arises, you let it go, let it go, let it go.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for everything.
But when you let it go, it means that you're not attached to it, but let the joy itself get stronger and stronger through continuous noting.
Wonderful.
But just don't, because what happens if you attach to it and then you sort of delight in it, then you lose track of the actual contemplation and you become just fixated on the joy. And then sort of what's often happens is that you experience occasions of joy, then it fades out. Then when it fades out, then you think, why did it fade out? I have to get it back. And then you start grasping after it, trying to recover the joy. And you've lost the meditation. You're just on a search.
Luckily, I haven't got that far with it. It's just like this gladness that I'm able to do it, and the little bit of pride, and I name the pride for what it is. But I think it's more the first joy. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to have to wrap up now, and we didn't really have time for an extended loving kindness meditation as I thought. But let me mention, as I did last evening, this is sort of the word from your sponsor, that here Baos, the Buddhist Association based at Zhuangyan Monastery, we're able to offer these free retreats and all the other programs that we offer, regular Dhamma classes on Saturday, online meditation Wednesday and Sunday evenings. All of this is done free of charge, and we're able to do this because of the donations that come from people who appreciate the programs. So if you feel some appreciation for the retreat or any of the other programs, and you want to ensure that they continue, please consider making a donation to the Buddhist Association of the United States. And you could make the donation online by going to the website of the Buddhist Association, and make sure it's the one in Carmel, New York, because I'm told that there's another organization which has misappropriated our name. But you'll be able to recognize the website. Okay, and then some words of thanks to people who have been involved as sort of the team behind the retreat. And we have to give special credit, especially to Kaidi Shu, who has been the coordinator of the tech team here. And she's had a team of people who have been working behind the scenes, so they appear on the participant list, to maintain the the Zoom, we call these the Zoomster team. So I have Siu Kosvata, Osman Boyk, Yvonne Tsung, Jane Marie Du, Yorong Avis, Lin Xiaoping, and Renita Wang. Did I get everybody, Kaiti?
Yes, I think, did you mention, Venerable, your Hong Hui?
I have her. I'm going to mention her.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we can't forget her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's wonderful, because
Yeah.
Jason are away. She
Yeah.
has no previous experience, and I think she did a very good job.
Yeah. No, I wanted to mention first the ones who are not physically present in the hall. Okay, so yeah, so I was certainly going to mention Venerable Hong Wei, who is here at the Zhuangyan Monastery, and she has been maintaining the desk here with the computer, the Zoom account, the camera. So usually we have Jason, I call him our Jason of all trades, who's skilled in just every aspect of technology. But he had to go to California for some family matter last week and won't be back until, I think, later today he comes back. So Venerable Hong Wei has been the on-site tech manager, and she's done an excellent job, often reminding me to turn on my camera, to turn on my sound, and so on. And then, of course, we've had Venerable Hong Jun, the co-abbess of Zhuangyan Monastery, who's been leading the nuns in participation. Then Venerable Mangala has been conducting the evening chanting and gave one of the Dharma talks on the second day. And I hope I've gotten everybody. And if I didn't mention anybody, please forgive me for my oversight. And so let us then end with and also we have to thank all of the participants for joining us, many from different time zones. I even saw somebody coming in from Saigon in Vietnam, and I think some came in from Malaysia, and Lakshman,
Malaysia, Singapore. Yeah, Singapore, Malaysia,
yeah,
Canada.
Yeah. And perhaps Sri Lanka as well. I'm not so sure. So probably they come for those sessions which are convenient within their time zone. Okay, so let us then do a sort of very, very brief way of sharing the merits. And so through these 4 days, we've practiced very diligently and earnestly in accordance with the instructions on the Anapanasati section and the Chittanupassana, contemplation of mind section of the Satipatthana Sutta. So remember that the Buddha says that Satipatthana is a Muggo, it's a path, a kayana muggo, a path leading in one direction, that is towards the ultimate goal of liberation, of the extinction of all suffering. And as we practice diligently, we're taking even little steps in that along that path. You know, it's a long path that leads through life after life after life, maybe aeon after aeon, but we have to start on that path. And once we start, we just walk without turning back. And after you finish this retreat, don't think that I end my meditation now, and when there's another retreat, then I'll pick up my meditation again. But it's important to do it every day, to try to find some periods every day, even if it's 20 or 30 minutes. And usually on the day-to-day practice, good sort of I say to focus on something like the mindfulness of breathing and the loving kindness meditation, which is very important. And if you do like longer periods, then you could integrate some walking meditation into it, or even contemplation of mind. So you find your own mode of practice, but make it a regular habit, just like brushing your teeth, washing your face, getting dressed, going to sleep. Include the period, at least one period, better 2 periods of meditation in your daily schedule. Okay, so let us end now with sharing the merits. And so through all of our activities, we've generated a accumulation of wholesome karma, punya, or merits. And now we want to share those merits with others. And so first we could think of any departed relatives or friends or teachers. I will mention a few of my own long-term Dhamma friends that I've lost over the last few years. The Venerable K. Nyanananda, a Sri Lankan monk, quite a prolific author and speaker, passed away in February 2018. The Venerable Jnanadeepa, a French-Danish monk in Sri Lanka. Venerable Jnana Ramita Mahatera, the elder German monk in Sri Lanka, passed away on New Year's Day of this year. And you think of any of your own friends and relatives, and in your mind you share your merits with them. Then you can think of any friends or relatives living now who might be going through some kind of difficulty, hard time, either with physical illness, mental stress, any kind of difficulty. And then send loving kindness and good wishes to them, with the wish that they can resolve their problems, recover their health, emerge from their difficulties. Then we bring to mind the devas, particularly the Dharma protecting devas, and we invite them to rejoice in our merits. And by sharing in our merits, may that encourage them to continue to protect the Dharma in the world. And then we bring to mind the fierce spirits, the yakshas, whose task is to eradicate obstacles to the Dharma. And we share the merits with them, asking them to be diligent in even using force but not violence to eliminate the obstacles to the continuation of the Dhamma in the world. Then we bring to mind the pretas, the hungry ghosts or afflicted spirits who depend on the merits of others. And so we extend our compassion to them, invite them to rejoice in our merits, and by so rejoicing, may they quickly be released from the misery of the preta realm and be reborn in the human realm under good conditions. And then we spread our metta, our loving kindness, over the entire world, to all human beings in every country, particularly those trouble spots in the world where there might be war, violent conflict, hunger, despotic, autocratic governments oppressing the people, and to the animal realm, with the wish that all the animals will be well and safe. And you continue to spread the metta over the world, and I'll recite the verses for the sharing of the merits. Akasata cha bhumata Devanaga Mahidika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakantu Sasanang Akasata Chabumata Devanaga Mahidika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakantu Desanang Akasata Chabumata Devanaga Mahidika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakantu Mang Parang Dukkha Patachani Dukkha Bhaya Patachani Bhaya Soka Patachani Soka Hantu Sabepi Panino. May those in suffering be free from suffering. May those in fear be free from fear. May those in sorrow be free from sorrow. May all living beings also be thus. Then we go sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And then we're going to do 3 bows to the triple gem, and that will conclude the retreat. So in your own living quarters, if you have a Buddha shrine, the Buddha altar, then you do the 3 bows, and we'll do the bows here.
We bow to the Buddha. Bow to Bante.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank
you,
you,
Bante.
Bante.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank you very much, Bante.
Day and everyone.
Thank you.
Bhante.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank you,
Sadhu,
Sadhu to all who
Okay.
helped
Well, all.
Thank you, Bante.